A lot of rich parents don't want their children to have a job, and I'll explain why based on the example of the hugest fucking scandal and drama from my hometown. Long story short, the guy, let's name him Tom, was studying abroad, and as he was 18, his parents were going through a divorce. Mom found out that the son occasionally calls his dad. Then Tom started calling his mom and she wasn't picking up, so she was ghosting him, giving him silent treatment. Then it was time to pay rent. And the way it works for the majority of rich kids, guys, it's not that you have unlimited or huge amounts of money. Usually you have a monthly allowance. So it was time to pay rent. Nobody was picking up the phone. Dad was on the boundary with 20 years old girls, and mom was always the one who was sending him money. The mom actually had a very influential father. So the coolest dude in the family was the grandfather. A few days later, mom calls and she was like, I heard you're close with your father. She said, until you take an official stance in the family, you're not gonna get any money. He realized that he can no longer afford to stay abroad, so he flew back to his home country. He started making small moves by himself. So the first thing he did, he moved in with his friends and they started working on like a small business. And it was actually doing pretty well. And then strange things started happening with the business. First, fire department came to them and they were like, this is wrong, we're gonna close you. In some countries it means you just have to pay up, okay? Then policemen came, then some lawyers came, and they would always find problems. If somebody wants to close your business, guys, they will find the reason even if you are a saint. And guess who was sending those people? The fucking mother. Because she didn't like the fact that now he didn't depend on her. Because a lot of those rich parents, they do not have a close connection with you. The only way you are staying close with them is because they have financial advantage over you. And once they no longer have this influence, they're losing their fucking shit. So the business closed and he tried to find a job, but the fucking mother blacklisted him from all of the companies. She had crazy fucking influence. She was a billionaire, and people were not even scared of her. They were really scared of a grandfather. He moves back to London. And here's the thing about friendships when you're losing money. A lot of his friends originally were helping him because they were like, well, he's the son of a billionaire. They all thought that he's just acting like a rebel because all of the rich kids have this stage when they're like, I'm not gonna take any money from my parents. And then 2 months later, everybody's going to Mykonos and you're like, Baba, actually, we're friends again, send me money. And they all thought that he's doing the same thing, but he was not doing that. So at some point they got sick of paying for him. Long story short, he actually was able to start his own business, and then the mom reached out to him and she was like, darling, I did all of this because I knew your full potential. Some of you might say, oh my god, what a wise mother. In reality, she was just a fucking bitch. She hated her son. She didn't want him to succeed. She made sure that she did everything for him to fail. And she was emotionally abusive and manipulative. If you want to hear the full story, I told it on my YouTube. It's called Privileged Few. Check it out. Always have your own money. As always, do whatever you want with this information.